Looking eastward along Highway 43 in southern Saskatchewan, we're up on top of a big mound of undifferentiated glacial till. Off to the south are glacial lake beds through which Pinto Creek runs. Not bad farmland around here, a little dry. And they keep the population separated in the Vanguard cemetery, it looks. It's the Saturday morning of July 21st, 2012, and we are overlooking Vanguard, Saskatchewan, tucked down the bottom of the hill there. This glacial spillway looks to be. This stretch of rail line was laid by the Canadian Pacific Railway in 1931 to connect Mayrone down on its Cenotaph sub with the end of steel here in Vanguard. In 1912 they built up from Swift Current to Vanguard. And here we are at the south entrance to Vanguard. British, French, Scandinavians, Germans, people from eastern Canada began arriving to farm in this area in the mid-1900s. The stretch of railway here is now owned since November 2004 by the Great Western Railway, off the line, lock, stock, and barrel from CBR. Welcome to Vanguard, looking south into town. Population 152 in 2011, exactly what it was in 2006. The population peaked at around 450 in the late 1950s. Here would have been the elevators along here. The last one was brought down in 2002. Oh, nice arena. Curling and skating. This is the current hospital. There was a brick one built in 1919 and knocked down in the 1960s. Here we are down on Main Street, looking through the park at the Vanguard Public School, built in 1950. Not so sure they still use it as a school. I think it's a community center now. Main Street. Looking south, or north rather, the station would have stood down there at mile 44 from Swift Current. It was a standard Western Line station, A2, built in 1912, sold off and removed in 1973. This is likely the Bank of Toronto building, built in the 1920s. And St. Joseph's Church, completed in 1955. Somebody's tribute to Buckminster Fuller. Nice. Volunteer Fire Department. Pretty ancient old Fargo there. This will be your fire hall. And the village office. The village was incorporated July the 8th, 1912. Come 1913, Vanguard boomed with all the pioneer businesses. It was a main grain point for 20-mile radius until the sub from to Cenotaph was completed in 1913. 2.5-story school was built, and 1914, churches. Five fires between 1919 and 1937 opened up lots of building opportunities in the central business district. Oh, they got a pool, a liquor board store. That might have been the Bank of Toronto building. I'm not sure. Community hall again, well braced, and looking north out of town. The Turkey Track Ranch controlled this territory from the 1880s, ranged cattle up here and lost 10,000 head in the bad winter of 1907. Don't know when this church was built. And the new community school, K to 12, and a fire hydrant. So they've got fire protection here. Lots of trees. And that looks to be the original school, or maybe one that was moved in from the country. The back of the 1950 structure. A little baseball backstop there. And so central to many Saskatchewan communities is the Cenotaph. Set in a little patio beside the old school. I suspect that the Cenotaph was over near the Legion and likely got moved over to the old school. This is Railway Avenue. Vanguard was the end of the steel for the CPR from 1912 to 1931. The company surveyed the rail line up in 1910 and laid the steel on in 1911. Train service began in 1912. It continues under the Great Western Railway. Here's the museum and library sharing the Legion building and the pool building, looking south along Main Street. Post office was established on July the 15th, 1912, and continues. And I suspect that the old hotel was right here, demolished in the 1990s. Gospel Tabernacle Church, completed in 1944 and closed in 1988. And the ball fields. Nice. Post office here absorbed the rural post office of Burradin, established in 1910, April 1st, closed July 15th, 1912. And the Pontivy Post Office, May 1st, 1911 to August 31st, 1913. Vanguard, Saskatchewan.